Yep.
What happened?
I'm not going to take you through details. I cut it at my house like a normal human being, and I have to protect it for a little bit. I'll be fine.
How did it feel today? Today was your first day fully back.
Yeah, it was good. It was good working against these guys. A really talented defense, really talented team. When you look across the board, offensively and defensively, these guys have a bunch of great players, young talent, mixed in with some good veterans. So it was good to get some work against them. A little bit different than what we see from our defense, so it was good. I thought guys battled through pretty well. I felt like a practice or a game, right? Some good moments, some moments you want to learn from, but all in all, pretty good.
CJ Stroud has said that he, is a fan of yours. What's your kind of impression of him as he's coming to the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's likewise for me. I'm a huge fan of watching him play. Throws the ball with ease, plays with like a really calm aggression, which I like. His first touchdown to Tank Dell, letter of the law in the preseason this year. That's buzz coverage right into a dagger window. Usually not throwing that ball, but hey, they didn't play it as well as they could, and he fit it in there for a touchdown. I mean, that's playing ball in an aggressive way, but smart, and I'll let him know that. I thought it was a pretty sweet play. So, he plays at a really high level, especially for a young kid. They've got a lot of talent around him, which is a lot of fun to watch, and he does a great job of getting those guys the ball.
Because obviously you won't play in the preseason, how do you feel in terms of this is the last real reps against some other team? Feel like you're where you need to be?
Yeah, I think so. I think we still have time before the first one, so we just continue to work against each other, sharpen our skills, both offensively and defensively. The season is a process. You want to make progress throughout it, and that's what we're trying to do. It may not be, perfectly like this. There might be days there you're gonna have some tough ones. Can you bounce back and keep going? It's just like a season, right? You don't play the first game and get 17 times better the last game of the season, right? You're just fighting, finding ways to win ball games, doing that along the way, and that's what we're up to right now. Just trying to, work through some things, get guys in position. We got some guys still out that hopefully we can get back pretty soon, but it's really a valuable experience for everybody that's out there.
But Lemmer's been getting mixed in with you guys a little bit.
Yep.
What have you seen from him over the last week?
Yeah, he's done a nice job. Good command. Obviously, he's played the position for a long time, understands it. Professional snapper of the football, and it's he's a rookie. It's learning constantly, and these kind of practices are great for him, right? He goes against our defense, gets looks at our guys over and over again, and you got to come out here and block some of these guys and different looks and jet techniques and all that kind of stuff. So it's good for him.
Both CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams have been very public about how much they look up to you and try to model parts of their game after you. Does that ever get old, I guess, or trip you up a little bit, thinking, wow, I'm being watched, my career is being followed by these rising?
It's humbling, I remember being in their shoes thinking the same thing about Brett Favre and Peyton Manning when I got to go against those guys in the beginning of my career. I'm not putting myself in that same breath, but the older guys. And, it was a really cool experience. I'll never forget playing Brett. When he was in Minnesota and I was in Detroit, and he came up to me and was like, hey, man, I'm a big fan. I'm like, you can't say that to me, right? Like, I'm the fan of you. I've been watching you play for forever. So it is cool. It's humbling, that these guys are paying attention. And as big of fans as they might be of me, I wish nothing but the best for those guys. This position is hard. It's humbling. It's difficult. There's ups, there's downs. And, guys that play this position for a long time know you got to stick together and pull for each other, so I'm pulling for those guys.
With Luka out right now, you've been getting a lot of work with a couple of different receivers, not just Tyler, but also a little bit with Jordan, a little bit with Xavier as well. What have you seen from each of those guys? Have you seen them take steps?
Yeah, definitely. Again, progress, right? Tyler was here last year, and Zay was too. So those guys kind of picked up where they came off. Jay Witt does a great job of, just being a sponge out there, trying to soak up as much as he can from those guys that have been there before him. All of them are physically talented in their own way and play to those strengths. And that's what you want to be as a football player, right? Know what you're good at, do that, and work on the things that maybe you need to work on. And those guys come to work every single day with that attitude, and it's going to make our team better.
Cooper Kupp is such an accomplished receiver. What do you see from the Texans' young defensive backs against them?
Yeah, I thought they're talented, really talented. The whole back end is a really talented group. I don't know if they're all – it's first round pick, second round pick, third round, whatever they are, man. They fly around. They're smart. They're asking me questions after the period. What do you see with this, that, and the other? And that's a sign of mature guys that are trying to learn the craft and be as good as they possibly can. And the athletic skills are definitely there.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. It was, really it sounds like it was a pretty mild day, but I'm drenched. You appreciate what these guys go through. I thought D'Amico and his group was first class. We got a lot of good work today. That was exactly what we hoped, and I thought our guys pushed through. There's going to be a lot of teaching, and we don't really game plan any of these things, so there was a lot of good stuff, and there's a lot of learning opportunities, and that's exactly why we do these. And so But I was overall really pleased with the work we were able to get done. It was really important for us to be able to come here, make sure that we got all of the work that we had scheduled in, and we were able to do that. And so I was pleased with a lot of things and very appreciative of D'Amico and his group and first class.
What happened to Jerry Jacobs, and who was competing at that number 4 spot?
Well, Jerry, he ended up having a groin issue, so we ended up injury settling with him, Jordan. What was the next part of your question?
Guys who were competing for that 4 spot.
Yeah, some of the other guys, you're seeing some young guys. You look at Trey Tomlinson, you look at Sean Jolly, guys that have been here. Josh Wallace and Charles Woods are guys that have really shown well, and so we've gotten a lot of reps. And then we have safeties that can play, some of the nickel corner stuff when you look at Quentin Lake and Rush East. So we're trying to find the best guys for our secondary, and it's starting to come into clarity, but we'll continue to use these next few days. He does, but we wanted to hold him out today because he's gonna get a heavy workload in the game on Saturday. So he had a little bit of a leg contusion, but that was, wanted to be safe with him here because he's gonna get a big workload on Saturday, or whenever the hell our game is. Is it Saturday? All these days run together.
Water. It looks like a full day for Matthew as well.
Yeah, full day for him. It was good. Would prefer him not to have to hand off backwards on a couple of those, but because of the progression, he wanted to get the work in, and I thought really their overall etiquette in terms of staying away from him was really good, and I was pleased with the way that our line competed.
Looked like you've been getting some clarity on what Bo Limmer can potentially do for you over the last week.
Yeah.
What do you like that you've seen from
I
him?
like the command. I like the communication. I think you see a lot of the physical traits where he can come out of his hips and get good removal. I think he's getting more and more comfortable in the protection element of it, but Bo has made some really good strides. Like I said, I think that's a credit to the guys around him, but also Ryan Wendell and Zach Cromer, and to be able to have some versatile pieces like what we do, and then being able to get Jonah back, that'll be really big for us. And I think we've really developed some depth at the tackle spot with our guys being out. In the meantime, I've seen Warren McClendon make tremendous strides, and I think Joe Nopum, we know that he has the ability to really play on either side as a tackle or guard, but I thought he's done a really good job as a left tackle.
Do you have more plans for Joe?
He's making good progress, so we expect him to work back in next week. Yeah.
Cam Akers has made some good strides here in Houston. What are your thoughts about him being able to come back from his second term?
Yeah, I think just resilience. The guy's mentally tough. You look at it, and I saw Cam. It was good to see even in the Hall of Fame game, be able to do what he's done. But when he came back from the first Achilles, and you look at the timetable, and Dr. Elatrosh, has some amazing things that he's able to do to accelerate that. But that's a real credit to Cam and the work ethic, that he has and really what he's put in. And so you can't say enough about just people that overcome things. Cam's got examples of being able to do that, and you're pulling for him.
What do you think about Houston's young secondary against their receiving?
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. I've been super impressed with Stingley from when he was coming out, and then you watch the production that he had last year, and I thought Petrie was all over the place. Jimmy Ward is a guy that I've always respected because of the athleticism, the position flex, and what he enables them to be able to do as a safety, or a guy that can drop down and play coverage on receivers or tight ends. But I thought Petrie's a guy that you can see he's really good. I felt them today, and they did a great job. And then obviously having two special guys coming off the edge makes a major difference.
Couple more, guys.
How do you feel about the veterans knowing that they won't practice or won't play in the scrimmage, Sean? Are they where they need to be?
Well, I don't think we're where we need to be, but I think we're making progress. And that's why we're going to use all that time. Every day matters. I don't know, it was 17 days or something like that until we play against Detroit. So we still have work to do, but I've been really pleased with the progress. And I was saying at the beginning, Kurt, I think it's a real credit to our players, to D'Amico and his group, for us to come here, get the work in. We've had 4 opportunities where our group that hasn't been playing in these preseason games has really gotten what's equivalent to game-like reps. Now, is it the exact thing when you're not tackling? No, but there are some things that you can simulate and be in a controlled setting that we really feel good about. And I was glad Matthew was able to get the work. I was pleased with our young offensive line, and I thought did some good things with the front. We had a lot of guys in our secondary rotating through that are going to play meaningful snaps for us this year, so I was pleased.
And I apologize if you address this, but Matthew, when we talked to you in Thousand Oaks, you weren't sure. Did he have to convince you, or?
No, it was more of a conversation. He felt good the other day. I think with having another day in between to be able to kind of continue to recover and feel good about it. And, I trust him. I trust his ability to communicate. And then, obviously, in collaboration with Reggie, we felt good about it, and he came out of here clean.
Last one, yeah.
I do. Yeah, that's the expectation. Yeah. So, okay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Sean.
guys. I need a
Appreciate it.
shower.